I can't record it because I didn't log in as you today.
Oh, you're you.
Woo! What was that? We're so easily amused.
Exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, we don't have a plan or anything, but this is just how we roll. We roll way better without a plan. And so I think we'll obviously go over some of the basics. Most of you on here already know kind of the drill. I think I was just going to cover something. So my cousin Steve and I, it's been really, really hard for him to give up soda. And both of us a number of times have kind of said all right, well, let's just make sure we don't drink this month and, really stick to the plan. And we actually 100% committed to not drinking this month. We have a cousin getting married that unfortunately I'm not going to be there for, but I just messaged him and said, so you do realize that you're going to be going to that wedding also, right? And he's like, yep. But the fact of the matter is there's always going to be something that comes up. And so not that I'm telling you guys that you guys have to do anything, but if there's something that's really, really hard for you, I would just suggest maybe just for June to give that up, or to just I'm training, and granted the race is not until October where Jennifer and I are both doing it, but I know that I have to train. And also my husband's been gone for 6 months. And so he comes home in the beginning of next month and I want to be ripped. And, for a long, long time, I've been I'm going to have actual abs and I'm super close all the time, but then I'll drink here and there. So anyways, just we'll set weekly goals with you guys and we'll, give you as much information as we can and all of that kind of stuff. But if there's something that you guys want to, or if any of you want to, do it with us, just let us know. And then I think do you want to just start with obviously the foods to get rid of and stuff and just kind of roll?
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to touch on tonight, because I know it's being recorded and I know I have people who were asking about this but they weren't able to get on tonight, is I logged into my stuff, so I'll share screen in a little bit. Why don't you mute everybody? Okay, and then I'm going to log in and kind of show where to go to find certain things in on demand that even if you've been at it for a while, you may not have looked at these things or been aware of where they are. So I can touch on that too. So if you want to touch on the food, and then I can do the on demand side of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So a lot of people, come in and they either go all the way in or they just do the workouts in Shakeology, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Shakeology will definitely make up for a lot of the nutrition end of it. But, the biggest thing is going to be to have a plan. And if all of you want to write down this app right now, it's Mealime, Mealime. So Mealime. It's something that I just came across. Somebody suggested it to me, and Jennifer will show you on the on demand and Beachbody blog, and we can give you countless meal plans, but really it's got to be, I have found for myself that it really has to be something that I have to sit down and do. To just sit down and look at somebody else's meal plan, it's not really going to work for everybody. And so with this app, it's really great because I'm vegetarian, so I can, when you first set it up, it asks you do you eat normal? Are you vegetarian? Are you pescatarian? Whatever the case is. And then it kind of asks you specifically what foods on this list do you like? And so it comes up with these awesome meal ideas, and then it gives you the entire ingredients and shopping list. And then what's cool too is you can uncheck things that you already have. So it really, really simplifies it for you. And then also just always ask us. I will go over some quick things right now that are really easy for people to do, but different people have different food sensitivities. And so this is just going to be a learning process from here on out. You might find that okay, I'm kind of plateauing here. And then you'll be well, but I still am eating pasta all the time. And I'm still, playing around with your carbs and all of that kind of stuff is definitely going to help speed you up faster. When you're looking at the nutrition, like either if you have the book or if you have the on demand, it'll even show you like the foods that are on top of those lists are going to be foods that are better suggested for you, so to say. And the foods that are further down on the list are, I wouldn't say bad ideas because they're not bad options if they're on the list, but making sure that either way, whatever you are eating, if it's not on the list, it's not approved. And so don't cheat yourself right away, right there. For a lot of people, that seems like crazy, but until you've done, I would say at least give yourself that 1 month, like commit to whether it's a 21-day fix or you're doing a 30-day program. Like Jennifer and I all the time, when a new program comes out, we'll look at the meal plan and we'll be like, oh my gosh, can you believe they want us to have like 7 carbs, And then we've done it in the past where we're just like, well, we're just not. We're going to only have 5 carbs. And then the thing is these programs are written so specifically, like the scientists and the nutritionists and everything that work with our programs. It's legit. That's why we're the best company out there. So trust the process first and foremost. If you're looking for stuff, or if you see stuff on Pinterest, or if you see something on a blog, or if somebody tells you, oh, well, this is 21-day fix approved, everyone, it's never like Beachbody or clean eating. It's always like, this is that 21-day thing. I wouldn't say most oftentimes, but when I was looking on Pinterest way back when, a lot of those food or recipes, they're not approved. So always ask us. We can give you alternatives. We can give you substitutions. A lot of people are like, well, I can't eat like that, or my family won't eat like that, or, pizza is hard to give up, or tacos. Well, I literally have eaten tacos every night this week. I know what I like and I stick to it. So, corn tortillas, you'll see that those are on the plan. For me, like it's beans and veggies, obviously, but instead of using a taco packet, you're going to make your own taco seasoning. And taco seasoning is always in each program's nutrition guide, I'm pretty sure. But like I use ground cumin and I use like ancho chili powder. Tajin is one of my favorite spices. Basically what you want to do is you want to, instead of using packets and marinades and sauces, you're going to make your own stuff. So things are actually going to taste much better to you because they're going to be fresh, right? If you can use olive oil in whatever seasonings to make your own marinades, but you're just not going to be buying bottles of stuff. If you look at the labels, you'll see that it's super, super high in sodium. And then what you want to really start doing is from here on out, and always send me the label. I always get tons of people that are like, but look at this. And I'm like, yep, no, it's still not okay. You want to look where it says actual ingredients. So the table, so many people have the table and the macros, like that doesn't really apply. You want to look at the actual ingredients. If there's a ton of ingredients on there and it's like absorbic acid and poly this and red number 4, and you want to stay away from all of that. It's literally cancer causing agents. Like if you can't pronounce it, stay away from it. Stick with whole foods and just always ask us. This is the perfect time of year to get into this because it's like, yeah, it's grilling season. That's awesome. Grill some chicken, grill some burgers, that's all of that is fine. Maybe, have a burger without a bun, or choose the sandwich thins, or, any of those things are going to be very, very helpful for you. If you're going to, we'll talk about this also leading up to weekends and stuff, but like we're forever constantly eating in our cars. Like AJ, my son is 3. He just knows that we just like eat in the car. If we're going on a road trip or if we have a bunch of stuff to do, we have our little cooler with like his yogurt or our cottage cheese with our veggies and stuff like that. Like it's just very normal. And my poor kid, I'm like super into the nutrition side. So like when we're at the store, I read every label. if it's something that I haven't had before, I read the label. Or like he'll go and pick up something off the shelf and he's like, Mommy, is this yucky for my tummy? Like I didn't know how else to explain it in the beginning. So from the beginning, I always made his baby food and all of that stuff. And so it's just always kind of been like, I'm sorry, buddy, but that's just kind of yucky for our tummy. So, you know, kids adapt even a lot quicker than we do. We've been set in these kind of routines and, you know, these ways for our whole life, right? So it's actually pretty quickly that kids will adapt. So then what you're going to find is, especially in the beginning of your journey, or if you haven't been doing it 100%, you're going to have weekends when you eat treats or you get off track and you're going to get sick. You know, you'll probably get some poop issues or sore tummies or whatever. But you'll also like really start to be able to taste chemicals, basically. So for me, it's really hard to go to restaurants and stuff because it's actually kind of easier now that I'm vegetarian. Because when I still did eat meat, like I just almost anything at a restaurant was just like, ugh, you know, like you can just taste all the stuff in there. And so it's kind of a good thing too, because then you know that your body's really adapting, because our bodies want to be healthy, obviously. So, making sure that you're getting rid of the things in your house that are triggers for you. Like you won't find chips in my house because I will eat them all. You won't find Goldfish crackers by the gallon carton because I did that once and I ate the entire thing in 2 days. Like those are things that I know that are very, very hard for me. If I, you know, if we're going to a play date, if we're going, you know, to a wedding, you know, whatever the case, if it's somewhere where you can bring something, bring a dish that you know that you can eat. Always have your shake on the way, like in the car, like save your shake for later. A lot of people will ask me about when to have their shake, and it's really different for everybody. A lot of people just are like, oh, I'm going to work out and then have my shake. Or a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to have it for breakfast. And you really kind of maybe want to play around with it. What I tell people is often times that it's going to be best for you to have it if there's a time of the day where you tend to get a little groggy and tired and like run down. I would say that that's a good time to have it. If you're one of those people that, like me, I used to be really bad. I'm getting a lot better at it, but like 9:30-ish, you know, as soon as my son goes down, I'm always working. And so like 9:30, 9:45, I would always go and like, all right, I'm eating peanut butter out of the jar, or I'm eating handfuls of chocolate chips, or I'm eating a few weeks ago, I ate 2 pounds of almonds in like 3 days. And so, yeah, I like gave up the peanut butter problem and then just went straight for the pounds of nuts. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. So just, you know, if you're one of those people that snacks later at night, then by all means have your shake later at night. It's not going to keep you up. It's not something where you have to have it at the same time every day. So if you know that like this weekend, I'm going to go here at this time. Usually I have my shake in the morning, you know, it's fine. Just switch it up. A couple of things that I'll just tell you really quickly. And we have some Costco lists that'll be in the group, just with some simple ideas and meals and a typical list of what like I usually get. But for people with families and you should have said that out loud. Oh,
okay,
man.
I'll tell everybody. I just sent Steph a text. That's what you just heard, that ding. And I sent her a text. I said, you just said you went for the pounds of nuts and I'm over here dying. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Carry on. Back to adulthood.
We're very immature sometimes.
Okay.
Cannot handle like.
Chris is like, oh my gosh, she just said that on a call that's being recorded.
It's just who we are, man. People know. And I'm like, oh, squirrel. But okay, so like if you have families, for us, you know, especially when Chad is home, it's really, really, really easy to make up a ton of like steel cut oatmeal. And then you can put either berries in there or like peanut butter banana. Like that's always a really, really great thing to make. Easy to grab and go. You can warm it up, jump in the car. If you're one of those people that's really, you know, like really rushed in the morning, you know, that's a really easy one to do. Some people will make the little egg muffins where you can put peppers and stuff like that and make them in a muffin tin. And, you know, that can be kind of your eggs. Hard-boiled eggs are always really, really good to have. These are things that you're going to want to do the first couple of times if you've never done a full prep, which I'll have Jennifer talk about the dinner stuff because she's really good at prepping dinner. I'm not. I'm really good at washing my produce and really good at having everything cut and, you know, all of that stuff and, you know, making sure that everything is measured out. So you'll typically make your meal plan maybe Friday or Saturday morning. We suggest you do your shopping Saturday and then do your prep Sunday, you know, whatever works for you. So when you're first starting to do it, you don't feel like it's this huge, huge, huge chore. You just kind of break it up and keep it simple. There's even some of these meal plans that are no cook, you know, get rotisserie chicken or make up, like Jennifer always makes a ton of taco meat and she'll kind of just use like every and any veggies she has. And, you know, tacos, you can do so many different ways. If it's for guys, a lot of times, you know, I would make literally every week. I'm like, oh, here you go, honey, tacos again. But like one day you could have it in a rice bowl. One day you could have it with black beans. One day you could have it on tortillas. One day you could do lettuce wraps. Like there's so many different ways to do it. And you'll just kind of get in a rhythm. And that's why I like this Mealime app, quite honestly, because I found that I was making like the same stuff all the time. Like, okay, well, we're going to make flat out pizzas. We're going to make tacos and chili. And that's what we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. So anyways, pretty much, is that it that I normally, yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Okay. If you guys have questions, by the way, either throw them in chat or just unmute yourself. On a different note, really quickly, because I'm also a squirrel. Do you guys see this piece of hair right here that she did not hit with primer? And so I look gray. I look like Storm from the Avengers. Okay. I'm like I came home, my kids were like, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, it is amazing. That's the look I was going for. Okay, all right, I'm gonna zip through. So this isn't like an hour and a half call. I'm gonna zip through Beachbody On Demand and show you guys just a couple of things. All right, I know some of you don't know me that well, and you're probably like, this girl right here is not.
Wait, was Heather trying to tell you something?
Maybe. What up, girl? You gotta unmute yourself.
Hold on. Okay. Oh.
Nope.
That's
Oh. Go.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to put your hair up in a ponytail. I knew you wouldn't leave it down.
I tried really hard. It's been down all day, so I did really good. Okay, so you guys can see my screen, right? Yeah. All right. So when you log in, this is just, I know some of you already know this, but I'm going to zip through it because there's people that are going to watch this that don't know this. So you go to Beachbody On Demand, and that's how you can log into all of the programs. If you have iPhone, iPad, you can also download the app, which is what I do. And then I download my workouts like for 3 or 4 days ahead of time, because there are times where On Demand kind of goes down. And it's really, really frustrating when you get up in the morning and you're like, you drink your Energize and you're ready to go. And then On Demand is like, we're having technical difficulties, but we'll be up shortly, right? It's happened. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So I suggest going in and downloading a couple of workouts ahead of time. That's my own little like piece of advice there.
Show them how to do that.
Yes, I will. Okay, so let's just say let's do quarter force. So you click on the program you're doing. You're going to go to workout list. And let's say that tomorrow I have to do MMA speed. There should be a download button right here, but I think because I can't do it on my computer, it's not going to let me do it. So there should be, like, my computer is literally ancient. I was surprised I even had like a camera, to be honest. It's so old. But when you log in and you click on your programs like this, there should be a download button right here. and you just download it right there. I don't know why it's not pulling up on here. I've never actually tried to do it on my computer. I always do it on my phone. Let me try.
I think you have to do it on your phone. Sorry.
Maybe you do. I've never really tried it on the computer before. But if you're on your phone or you're on the app, that's how you do it. You just click on the program and there's a download button right there. Click that button and then it will it'll spin, and then when it's downloaded, it will show as an X. And then I always go to at the bottom of the screen, it'll have the download button. If you click there, it will pull up all of the workouts that you've downloaded. So I always just double check that they're an X there as well. So that's how you download your stuff. I don't know if that really helps because I can't really show you in here, but hopefully, yeah, I kind of talked you through that okay. So what I did up here, you'll see there's a bunch of different programs pulled up. When you go, let's see, we'll start with PiYo. So let's say I'm doing PiYo. I'm going to click on that. And if you look at the top, it's going to give you your overview, which just tells you what the program is about, how long the workouts are, what you're going to need. You have your workout list. That's going to give you all of the workouts, and then your program materials. So program materials is really what I want to spend time on because the workout list is pretty obvious. So a lot of the programs have tracking systems in them. So if you're somebody that doesn't have an iPhone or an iPad that cannot download your materials through the app, I'm going to show you how to go in and print the paperwork. So what I do is I have a small little 1-inch binder, and I print off these papers that I'm going to show you, and I track the weights that I'm using, or I track the time that I have to take a break. And I use those for the entire program so that I can see progression. Because as much as I think I'm going to remember what I used on legs or what I used for triceps, I'm not. And some days I'm feeling really good and I can go really heavy, and some days you're not in it 100%. And so the way that I use those trackers is the first time I do these, well, I'm doing Body Beast right now, and so I always go as heavy as I possibly can. That's my goal. And so the first time I did the workouts, I went as heavy as I could. And then if I needed to drop down in the middle of a set, I would just write it down. So my goal now is that that's the minimum weight I allow myself to use. I cannot, no matter how crappy I feel or how much I don't want to work out, go less than what's written on that paper. Does that make sense? And so there's not going to be a day where I cheat. If I'm doing 25-pound dumbbells for bicep curl, and I come in the next week and I'm just tired and I'm not feeling it and I really want to grab those 15s, I look at my sheet and I'm like, oh, crap. Last week I used 25s, and I guess I'm using 25 today too. And so it really uses you to kind of hold yourself accountable. So for PiYo, they don't really have a tracking sheet because you're not using equipment, but you can pull up different kinds of calendars. So you have just the regular PiYo, which is month 1 and month 2, and then there's PiYo Strength. And so there's different kinds of workouts within each program. So you could do the same program multiple times and do it all different ways. A lot of them have fusions and things too. So that's what I was going to show you on PiYo. Okay, UB2. I'm just showing you different programs to show you different examples. Some of you have people that are doing these programs alongside of you, and so you want to be able to share this information with them. So in UB2 is really, really cool. Under program materials, they have a journal. And so the journal, it'll tell you here this key of what all of these things mean. And what you do is you go in and it'll tell you exactly what to do on that blue page. And then the yellow page is where you put your goals. What are your goals? And so this is where you just track your measurements, and it will show you where to measure, how to measure, and all of the programs have something similar to this. So don't just go and take measurements. Make sure you're taking them in the right place. And I always tell people these measurements that you're taking, they're just a benchmark. It's not God's word. It's just a benchmark. If you measure a little bit higher or a little bit lower or a little bit tighter or a little bit looser, it's going to change. And so don't use these measurements as okay, my leg is 17 inches around. I don't even know if that's a thing. My leg is 17 inches around, and now it's 19. I gained 2 inches. Well, you may be measuring a little higher than you were last time, and you may have pulled a little tighter last time. So use it as a benchmark. What I do when I do my measurements is I try to find, like I grew up in South Florida, so I'm like covered in freckles and spots. I'm like a damn Dalmatian, right? And so I like will find something, like some kind of mark on my body, and I'll write that on the paper. Like on my leg, there's a very distinct freckle on my leg, so that's where I measure my leg. So you want to try to either like, okay, I'm gonna measure the length of my hand down on my arm. So that's what you want to write down. So the next time you measure, you're measuring at the same spot or pretty close to the same spot, or have somebody else do it. But so that's what that yellow sheet is, and all of your programs are going to have something similar to this. The next thing in UV2, and this I am so in love with, are these sheets, and there's one for every week. So you just print these off. It doesn't have to be color, but color is more fun than black and white. And you just mark off these tally sheets when you're doing it. So on Monday, did you work out? Did you push play? If you did, you put a check. Did you do a bonus workout? Did you do abs? Did you go for a walk? Did you take your kids around the block? If you did, cool. You give yourself another check. On the water, what I would do is take your minimum amount of water and split it into 2. So that way you mark it twice. And did you drink your shake today? Perfect. Mark it. There's not going to be a bonus shake, guys. Please don't drink 2 a day. It's just unnecessary. And then how are you feeling today? What's your vibe? How are you feeling? And notes, inspirations, ideas. So what I would use this area for is either if you find something that's really motivating to you, put your goals, like on Monday, put your goals for the week. And then Sunday, you can say whether or not you met those goals. But these sheets on UV2 are available for every week. There's no reason, if you're doing Insanity Max 30, you're doing Body Beast, you're doing Hammer and Chisel, you couldn't go in and print these sheets off. These sheets are not exclusive to UV2. So you can, if you're like, man, that is actually, I really like this, then let's add it. Let's add it to what you're doing. Make it fit what you're doing. But just because it's in UV2 and you're doing Hammer and Chisel doesn't mean you can't use it. So that's UV2. Moving on. Okay, Insanity Max 30, one of my favorite programs of all time. What I love about this is, well, it's a badass program, number one. I don't know why I'm cussing. I hope there's not kids around. I'm sorry. But you can come in here and track your progress. So again, you put in your measurements. It's going to show you on a different page. It will show you where to measure. If you're not sure, go to another program. Find it in another program. Don't act like you don't have access to $6,000 worth of stuff. Figure it out. Or ask. So you go put your measurements in, your before and after photos. It'll show you how to do that. And then you come down here to your calendar. In this calendar, they have blank spaces where you actually mark in the time that you maxed out. So print it off or use your calendar that you use at home. You have a happy planner, mark it in your happy planner. You know, mark somewhere you need to track your progress. The first time I did Insanity Max 30, I've been an instructor forever. I've done all kinds of races and crazy fitness type things. I maxed out at like 7.5 minutes. I was embarrassed, but it's what it is. It's hard. It's different. And so when I maxed out at 7.5 minutes, I didn't want to write it down. Like I was like, was that really a max out, or am I just tying my shoe? Like, do I really need to mark that down at 7.5 minutes? But as soon as you stop, you write it down, and then the next time you do, because you do the same thing every day, each week, in Insanity Max 30, you make sure you don't stop before the last time. Whatever you have to do, you push past that time. So that's just an example of like Max 30. And there's, again, different things there. And in here, I mean, you guys can find ideas from the trainers and things. And then Hammer and Chisel. If you're doing Hammer and Chisel, there are worksheets in here under materials that you can go into, and you write down the weights that you use. You have to use these sheets. You have to have a way to track your workout. So print off enough to get you through at least a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, and track your stuff. If you're not tracking your stuff, you might as well quit your program. I'm not gonna lie. If you're not tracking what you're doing, don't bother, because what's the point? The point isn't to stay the same. The point is to progress. If you don't have a starting point, a base point, how do you know where your ending point? How do you know how much you've changed? You don't. So make sure that you are tracking what you're doing. I think that was mostly what I was going to show. Most of you that are on here already know about Fixate, but if you haven't tapped into that, I'm bad about that. I'm not going to lie. I am really bad about using Fixate. I'm like Steph. We have the same thing every week. But we're getting bored. My kids are getting bored. They're like, are we really having, well, we don't eat chili in the summer, but we're like that with tacos. Are we really having tacos again? I'm like, but these are chicken tacos. And now they're fish tacos. Like, there's all kinds of tacos, but they get bored. So go into Fixate if you haven't been in there. You can pull up by different categories of foods. I mean, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of materials in here. Under Fixate. So make sure you're using that. And then I have one more thing and then I'm done. So Steph was talking about meal prepping for dinners. I will literally, no kidding, it's been done on live video before, meal prepped. I think it was 4 to 6 dinners. Was it 5? And it was like 15 minutes because we got on and I was like, oh crap. I had just walked in the door from the grocery store and we're supposed to be doing a live prep thing. And I was like, I haven't unpacked yet. You go first, and I'm going to cook my food. And I was like, what? Like behind the camera. So I can tell you a little bit what I do, but then I can do, like, I don't mind if you guys want to hop on Sunday. I don't know if you want to watch me cook, but I could like hop on and just kind of show you what I do. But mostly what I do is I buy a ton of ground turkey. I buy a ton of chicken, and I buy a ton of fish. And then what I like to do is I buy, well, our grocery store sells bell peppers in packs of 6. Costco, stuff like that, they have them in packs of 6. So I buy 2 of those, and I buy 1 or 2 of the little mini peppers, those bags. And then I buy the really long cucumbers. I don't even know what they're called, but the really, really long ones. They come in a pack of 2, so I buy those. Which my husband's a lot like I am, so we laugh every time we see them. so we buy those. And then I buy like a ton, like literally bagfuls of squash and zucchini, yellow squash and green zucchini. And I like the red onions, which are actually purple, but they're called red. And so I just throw, Heather is dying right now. Oh gosh, I've known Heather since we were like 18, 19 years old. So I just throw, like I chop all those vegetables up together. I just mash them all together. The zucchini, the squash, the onion, the peppers, all of it just gets thrown into a bowl. I have this cool little Pampered Chef thing I can show you on Sunday, and I chop it up. It takes me like 2 minutes to chop all those vegetables. If you have a food processor, same idea, probably faster that way even. And I take like about 4 to 5 pounds of ground turkey. I have a really, really big skillet. I throw that in there with the vegetables and cook all of that. When it's done, take it out, set it to the side. Now I do season it basic seasoning, like sea salt, pepper, oregano, basil, usually like a little bit of chili powder, ground red pepper, like the basic, like 21 Day Fix. They use all the same stuff, I feel like. So those basic seasonings, I season it with that, and then I set it into a container, let it cool, and that's it. That's done. The fish, Michael does not like to be cooked ahead of time. I don't really mind it, so I'll usually do half and half. I buy the big, huge slabs of salmon. They're like $25, but they last us a couple of days. And we also have the individual fish, the little, like the little freezer wrapped fish things. And then throw those in. And like I said, I'll cook half ahead of time and half I'll make like fresh for him for dinner. And then the chicken I split up between the crock pot, and then I'll dice it up. And like today I posted the picture in both of the groups, the oven baked fajitas, because that is super simple. I can post that recipe to you guys. It literally is like 5 minutes of prep, throw it in for 30 minutes, and it makes a crap ton of food. So that's pretty much like, that is my cooking for the week, because I have now 5 pounds of ground turkey. So during the week, I'll pull out some meat, and I may use it for tacos. I may use it for chili. I might throw it in a crock pot and add some tomato sauce for sloppy joes. But the meat is already cooked. So that's the time consuming part, right? Like the prepping, the cooking of the meat, especially ground turkey. It's so annoying. And so like the cooking of the meat and the chicken, if that stuff is already done ahead of time, and then you just have to season it and make it a meal. So on Sundays, I just spend like 15, 20 minutes prepping all this meat and cooking as much meat as I can. And then that's it. It's already cooked for the week. So when we get home on a crazy night, if I just have to throw some taco seasoning on some meat and throw it on a plate and be like, that's your dinner, or you can have cereal. Like that's literally how our life is. And so it's sort of a smorgasbord at night. You know, you kind of pull everything out of the fridge, and maybe I'm having spaghetti and somebody else is having fish. Then that's what it is. We don't all have to be eating the same thing. And now, like Steph was saying, now that it's summertime, every single Sunday we make grilled chicken kebabs with it's in the Fix8. It's like grilled chicken, peppers, onion, and pineapple. And it's amazing. It's so good. If you guys haven't made that yet out of Fix8, you need to make that. Really good. So we have that every Sunday. We literally have pounds like this. I'm going to take a picture of it Sunday, a stack of these chicken skewers. And then I just pull them off the skewers, and they're just in a huge Rubbermaid thing. So during the week, I can scoop out of that, throw it on a salad, throw it on rice, throw it in a wrap. Like it's just so much food, and it's your protein, it's your fruit, and it's your vegetables. It's just, you know, when you cook in bulk, that's what that means, is like you're not necessarily making spaghetti and sloppy joes and tacos and chili. You're just making the meat. You can season it and fix it during the week. Heather, you look really pretty right now. Don't move. Hold on, don't move. Damn it, you moved. What happened to that light? There was like a
nice glow.
Yeah, it was like a really pretty light. I was about to take your picture.
I was making it go away.
So anyways, but I don't mind, like if you guys want to see sort of that live prep on Sunday, I don't mind doing that. So we could maybe just make like an event page for it maybe Sunday. Like I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Another Zoom link, and what I can do Saturday is put my produce wash and stuff too. Like what I do with that.
Yeah, and then Rebecca, you were saying deviled eggs. A really good Fix approved recipe for deviled eggs. I don't really even know what's on Fix8, but the way that I do deviled eggs is you just scoop the yellow out, scoop out the yolk, and fill it with hummus. And it's really good. I think I just blew Christopher's mind. He was like, what? Super easy. Like just throw some hummus in there.
A Fix8 where Bobby made like 3 different kinds, like 3 different ways. On like that were all approved, and I wanted to make every one of them. And I keep saying it, but I don't make them, which I'm sure my husband would really like.
I think it's funny you guys are on separate Zooms. That's funny.
Because I'm in the kitchen. I was at the grocery store when the call started, so I'm like packing, putting everything away, and doing the dishes and getting his lunch ready for tomorrow so that I can go to sleep. I know. He's like sitting by the computer.
Steph, what do you think where am I for lowers? Like weight-wise?
Yeah.
Well, it really depends on the move. If I'm holding, do you really want me to say?
Yeah.
In like a sumo squat, I'm up to like a 70 to 75. If I'm like having to hold 2 weights for like a squat, you know, where like your hands go by the outside of your ankles, it's hard for me to hold it. So I'm at like 40 to 45s on each side.
I was going to ask if you were using a wrap.
No, not for that. But like if I deadlift outside of a program, I definitely wrap, because then I'm going like up into like the hundreds, and I can't hold that. You guys have to go heavy. I know it sounds crazy because Steph, okay, so we've said this story so many times, but I'm going to say it again because it's funny. So the first time Steph came to visit me at the gym, and she was like, I really want to work out with you. I just really want to work out. And I'm like, come on, I love it. So we were doing hammer and chisel. So this heifer pulls out her little 5-pound weights. We're doing legs. And she's like, I'm going to go grab my heavy. And she comes back with 10s. I've got like 45 pounds. I'm like, wait, so what are you doing? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you doing?
No, you're like, what is that? No, really.
So I had to get her on like some real weight. So you guys have to go heavy. You're so much stronger than you even realize you are. And even when I'm teaching classes, this is what I tell people. You're never going to, say, do a bicep curl with a 10 or 15 pound weight. And some of you are like, guilty as charged. right? You're never going to do that and be like, man, I feel great. I could totally go heavier right now. You know what? Let me go heavier. I'm going to put these down and go. Nobody does that. That's not real life. You're going to get through it and be like, next time I'll go heavier. But because none of you are tracking your weights, you're going to forget. And you're going to pick up the 10s again next time and be like, I think I said I was going to go heavier, but this is like really good right now. I think I'm okay. Nobody does that. So what you should do is grab a 20 and do as much as you can with a 20 and then drop it to a 15, drop it to a 10. Like if you have to change your weights 4 times in a set, then you change your weights 4 times in a set. But if you don't try the 20, you never know. There's a Body Beast. I know Stacy's doing Body Beast right now too. So there's a move in there. It's like a concentrated bicep curl. So basically you're sitting on the bench. You're like, your legs are open. So your arm is on the inside of your leg and you're doing a bicep curl where the only thing moving, I kind of want to show you, but it would look really weird on camera. The only thing moving is like you're like this. But this part is up against your leg, right? So I'm not going to try to even demo that right now because Christopher and your cousin are on here. And so you do 15, 12, 8, and then 8, 12, 15. Stacy's like, I don't know who this girl is that I linked up with, but she's crazy. So by the time you finish, you've done 68 reps, right? So it's like you start with your lightweight, you go to your medium, you go to your heavy. So when you get to your heavy, you're only doing 8 sets. Well, my heavy in that is a 20-pound weight. Well, I'm having to assist. So when I'm doing the 20, I literally am holding my other hand to get it up. There's no way at that point I can lift a 20-pound free weight. But if I'm supporting it with my other hand, I can cheat a little bit and get it up. So yeah, it's cheating, but it's also cutting that muscle to where eventually I'm going to be able to get that 20-pound weight up. And so you don't want to like lift it, but it's okay to assist yourself in a weight a little bit. It's okay if you're doing a bicep curl to kind of pull yourself back. You don't want to rock constant, but a little bit of something, it's okay. You know, and especially in Body Beast, he talks about it a lot. If you have to split your legs and give yourself a little oomph, then you do it to get that weight up. Now in 21 Day Fix, it shouldn't really be like, you don't really need an oomph in 21 Day Fix. It's a different kind of program. I need some advice for shoulders. My weakest part, no matter what I do, they don't seem to get any stronger. I think we talked about shoulders before. You want to be really careful when you're working shoulders because they're very small muscles that make up a very large muscle. And so that's where a lot of tears and things come because people try to beast out shoulders. And what happens is you have these little bitty muscles. You have your shoulder, you have a set of muscles here, a set back here. This, you know, your biceps connected, it's all connected. But if you try to like go crazy in a shoulder workout, you're going to end up hurting yourself. So Chris, let's talk separate outside of here about what kind of weights you're using and what moves you're doing. Because I don't want the call to go an hour and a half, but we'll talk separately about that. We'll figure out, we'll get that straight for you. So that was, I think we got off track a little bit. Shocking, you know, but that was, nice feel, I guess. Do you guys just make sure you prep this weekend? Make sure you prep. It doesn't matter how many rounds you've done. And honestly, I think sometimes the more rounds you've done, the harder it is because you kind of fall into like a pattern. You're like, well, I kind of pretty much know what I'm doing, so I'll get it together on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday comes and you're like, well, I'll just start on Monday. And so make sure you prep this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say too, just a couple things. So in the tracker now, some of you have been in the tracker, but not really in the tracker. And for brand new people, there's always, you know, there's like the biggest fly in the entire world is in here. Just keeps zooming by my freaking ears. It's driving me crazy. Oh, I think I got it. Oh, you slammed on my screen. Gross. Okay, sorry. Anyways, you guys, we were like brought together by the universe. Ask Jennifer about me and the universe, but we're like the same person for sure. So with the containers, if you stop using the containers, so like 90% of the people undereat. Almost everybody undereats. Some people binge eat once a day and then don't eat at all for the rest of the day. And so making sure that you use your containers is going to ensure that you're eating enough. So every single time I think that I'm good and I know exactly how much I need to eat. And I even have my little chart, like, you know, I know that I need 4 greens and 4 reds or whatever. But if I'm not physically using the containers, I will undereat. And when you undereat, not to get, oh my God, he's alive. Not to get all into that part. But if you're undereating, you're not going to ever burn that muscle. So you're going to work really hard. You're drinking Shakeology. You're going to think that this little thing is like coming over here like, hey, yep. Now I don't want to splat you again.
This is by far the best call we've ever had. Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
Like walking towards me now, like, oh, you just jacked up my wing. So now I'm just going to come over here like, hey, what's up? You try to get me? Okay. Anyways, use your containers and just make sure that you're doing so. In order to keep this like super, super engaged, for a long time, we didn't like the tracker just because we felt like we lost personal touch in it, but the tracker is going really well for us now. We're 100% in. It's really easy to keep, you know, track of everybody, and it's easy for you. It's really great for me. I actually, the other part is because I use the Performance Line and Shakeology, I always drink my Energize and I always drink my Recover. But then I was finding that for a long time, I was missing sometimes days of Shakeology. And so it's really, really, really great that there's that reminder for you to do that. And then just one last thing is that, you know, every week we have like this stuff planned out, and sometimes we get bad at remembering to post every day. So like every week there will be a theme. So like the first week in our last group, we did just food pictures. So you'll check your workout and your shake over here on your own little thing, but always, 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 always check in with the post of the day. We will tag yourselves if you don't, just because, you know, this is really a group effort. It's as much so for us also. I mean, yes, you will see that we work out all the time, every single morning. Yes, we encourage you to do the same thing, not just because we think so, but there's so much science behind it. And, you know, too much life happens. So if you are doing it later in the day, too many things can come up, and it's so easy to miss it later in the day. So you will see that we will post every day usually by 6, sometimes 5, 5:30, whatever. There will always be that post of the day. You know, read it if you want to, but really just get up. Don't press snooze. Like, it's for people that press snooze, you're kind of like resisting your day. So if you just go to bed, even if you end up going to bed late and you're like, okay, I have intentions to wake up at 5:15 tomorrow and I'm going to get my workout in and la 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 la. Yes, we will sing on video. Now we have the ability to go on video. That's what we were missing all along. And so you'll probably see our sweaty mugs, and we'll be really excited at like 5:45 in the morning. But anyways, you guys can do it. We will, like I said, set some goals. I can post a video or whatever about my produce wash and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I recommend just doing a Zoom with Jennifer, because it's really quite amazing to see her prep that fast. And I need to see I always forget about the Pampered Chef thing, because I need that. It would save me so much time. So anyways, I think was there something else?
I think that's it for tonight.
Oh, how you track your containers. Oh, yep. And there's also, I can post, if you're more visual, if you want to like physically track it off, I have PDFs that I can post in the group. And she was thinking for sure. Okay.
Hey, quick question. For the people that weren't able to get on, because I got 2 coaches that weren't able to make it, are they going to be able to see this, or will they have to get on a separate call?
We recorded it, so we'll post it in there right now. Well,
okay.
Download. Awesome. Any other questions? Steve, you still in? We're from Wisconsin, so we like to drink. All right, awesome. I'm super excited about it. Okay, thank you.
Hey, I want to say this really quickly before we go.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to call her out. Shelby is on here. We can't see her face because her webcam's not working. But Shelby's getting married soon, officially, like big wedding. And so we want to cheer her on in the group. So make sure you're cheering her on. And she's going to be tomorrow. But they can't see her face anyways. Go, Shelby. Woohoo!
That's super exciting. Yay. Okay, and also should we tell if people, I guess because there's repeat people in here too, we have some documents. So Jennifer and I know most people will be doing Sean Week. It's the exclusive Sean T Week. And so we have a set of schedules, a couple of different levels. And so even if you're newer to the programs, there's like a hybrid that you could do this month if you want to do that with us. Jennifer will still be doing Body Beast, and Steve, I was going to do Max 30, but I might have to do some weights just because of all the cycle I'm doing and running. But anyways, either way, for sure doing Sean Week, and then we will post those as well. I think that was it. Oh, new computer hat. Oh, not set up. You're still here. We'll wait for you next time. You can give us your smiley face.
Okay, I have to be at the gym at 5 in the morning.
All right.
It's a wrap for me. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for getting on. Bye.